Hi you guys, it is me, Happy. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. So, today I'm just going to be talking about, like, my intuition and how I'm just having a hard time figuring out, or, like, a distinction between when I'm just kind of, like, worried or anxious about something, whether that's just me recognizing a pattern and not realizing that that's not how things always go, or if my gut is telling me the truth and I need to listen. So, to preface, I met this person around the beginning of the semester of college I'm in right now, probably 3 months ago, and this person's name is going to be Banana. So, Banana is like very close friends with somebody called Chewbacca, who I have one class with, and then Chewbacca's very quiet and like he doesn't talk much, but it was like one day Banana, Chewbacca, and then their friend Armor, they were all in there. And when Banana and Armor started talking, Chewbacca just felt he felt more comfortable and he started talking. And then from that point forward, me and him were friends. And then me and Banana, we didn't see each other that much because she doesn't really have classes and she always has something going on. And Armor and I, we would always see each other, like, not always, but every once in a while, right? So, Chewbacca and I, throughout this whole situation, we're completely fine. No issues between us. And the signs of these people, because it's important, okay? And listen, because I mention a lot of astrology in my other videos too. I never judge people off of their signs. I just look out for things that refer to another pattern I'm familiar with. When it comes to other people, it doesn't matter that much. Armor is a Capricorn, Banana is an Aquarius, and y'all know my history with them, okay? And Chewbacca is a Libra. So yeah. Also, let's keep in mind, a lot of the issues that I feel like I have with these people is just that they have certain attributes that mirror my mother and father, who are a Capricorn and an Aquarius respectively. And I'm trying really hard to just not dip into my trauma and like react the way I did with my parents, because these people are not my parents, even though they have the same signs as them and act very similar to them. They're different people, and I'm trying to just give them a chance. But like, when I see patterns that I'm familiar with, I literally just want to run in the other direction. It's really hard for me to convince myself to just let things play out and see how everything goes. So Armor is a straight man. He has a girlfriend who is non-binary, but you know that doesn't really mean anything, especially with, you know, people they get with men that are very racist and have completely opposing views morally and politically than them, and then they just make excuses for it. And then, you know, me and Armor, we were chill. He just was kind of off, but he got offended because I was like, well, the love between a lesbian and her girlfriend is nothing like the love between a straight man and his girlfriend. And he was like, well, what is that supposed to mean? Because I love my girlfriend. I treat her, mind you, his girlfriend goes by they them pronouns, so you're misgendering your own girlfriend. Weird. I took note of that. And he's like, I treat her right. I give her whatever she wants. We have promise rings. Like, I love her down and stuff, right? And I was just like, okay, because like, why are you trying to prove to me that you're a good boyfriend? And by the way, when I made that statement, I wasn't saying that like men don't love their girlfriends as much as lesbians do. I'm just saying like it's literally just different. It feels a bit different for you. Things are unfamiliar. There's a lot that you have to educate yourself on, things that aren't natural to you, if you get what I'm saying, y'all. Like, so anyway, then, you know, I would see him and we somehow started talking about D&D, And he brought up the fact that he kind of had interest in creating a D&D campaign for the lounge that we are always in, like with people from it. And I was like, oh yeah, that sounds like a really good idea. Mind you, he's not even part of the, we'll just call it a sorority for the sake of YouTube. He's not part of the sorority that we're in. Wait, what is it? Yeah. Should I even call it a sorority? I don't even know. Like, okay, y'all, it's just like a specified group of students, and it is a recognized group by administrators. Because I don't want to say the name, because that just gives too much away. So, you know, he starts telling me his ideas, and he was like, what if we DM together? And I was like, okay, period. Mind you, like, this is another theme that you're going to keep seeing replay throughout this whole situation, is that his character, like, as a person, it's just so, he is the complete opposite of me. And, you know, I love D&D so much, and I was like, I feel like we can put it aside, because whenever we would start talking about D&D, everything would just mesh and go perfectly together. And I was like, okay, well, now I have to I was like, maybe I should, like, just ignore that stuff and just keep it strictly D&D. But then he just keeps pushing a friendship. Okay, I'm not even telling y'all why I don't want to be friends with him. The reason why I don't want to be friends with him, okay? First of all, he was telling me about how one of his other campaigns that he's a DM for, they have an enemy that they go against called Epstein, and he has slaves. All that's gonna have to get bleeped. So that was weird to me. He made a joke about a golem. Okay, what else? I was there with my sister, who is 17 years old, a minor, and he began to make a joke to me. He was like, oh, well, that's because, oh, wait, let me not say that, because that's kind of not good. And I was like, what were you gonna say? And he's like, oh, I was going to make a joke about you not having a dad, you know, because you're black. Oh, and I didn't even mention this. This is a South Asian guy. Y'all already know. If you're dark skinned, they going to come for you. If you're black, they going to call you the N-word. And that's not everybody. It's mainly the boys, and it's mainly in high school. And again, like, I'm just generalizing right now. That's not a monolith. That's not how it always is, right? So don't. Just take that with a grain of salt. I'm just going based off of my experiences, okay? So yeah. And I was like, that's not an appropriate joke to make. And he was like, I know, that's why I didn't say it. And I was like, well, don't even try to make jokes like that ever again. And I wasn't really mad. I was just like, why did you think that was okay? And then he was like, yeah, I won't make jokes about race to you anymore. I'm sorry for that. And I was like, okay, period. Like, I don't put him in his place, and we should be fine. And I didn't feel the need to cut him off. I was just like, okay, it's corrected, boom, whatever. You're telling me you're not going to do it again. That's all I need to hear. So then we go to a chicken place, me and some people from the lounge, and he's there. And, you know, I'm talking, having a wonderful time, other than the fact that he's there. And he makes a joke like, you look like a puppet. Now, y'all are probably confused. And guess what? I was too. So I said, what does that mean, Armor? What do you mean I look like a puppet? Does that mean I'm talking too much? Do I just look like one? What does that mean? And he starts trying to come up for a reason. Like, he didn't even know why he made the joke that he just did. Because he's just stupid. He just says stuff for no reason. He doesn't think about the effect it has on people. And then he's like, oh, well, it's because, you know, your cheeks are so big and your eyes are so huge and you just look like the puppet from Goosebumps, right? So I just turned right away from him because we were in a group setting. And y'all, I don't believe in correcting people in front of everybody because that's kind of like mean, even if it's well deserved. Like, I feel like you normally have a better effect on people if you pull them aside and you're like, hey, like, don't do that again. I don't like that. And also, like, I didn't even want him to have the chance of having an audience so he could flip on me. Because the way I can see it going is other people hopping and being like, oh, it wasn't that big of a deal. I don't even want to risk that. So then, I was very upset about it, and I told my best friends about it. They were like, girl, cut him off. The other one was like, girl, leave the D&D campaign. Another one was like, girl, tell him not to do that again. So I just sent him a short message. I was like, hey, you remember that joke you made at the chicken place? Don't make jokes about my appearance ever again. And y'all, like, I don't even know if this is just because I'm numb from being so, like, burnt out and depressed right now. But, like, I genuinely I don't have any insecurities about myself lately. So him making that joke just kind of, I don't know, it talked an insecurity into me that I didn't really mean. So he answered my message. He just answered with a thumbs up emoji. I was like, okay, period. You know what? That's strange, but a win is a win. And then moving on from that point, we started talking about boundaries, me and some other friends, and he was there, and he hopped in the conversation. He was like,
yeah, because when you sent me that message, I was just wondering why you didn't say it, why you didn't, like, tell me you didn't like it then and there.
And I was like, I began to explain to him, what I told y'all, like, we were in front of a whole bunch of people, and I did not want to have an audience on either end. But he cut me off, and then he was like,
yeah, because, I make that joke to, like, all of my friends, like, because I have this one friend, I'm like, you're a puppet, and, like, because your brain is made of wood, and you're just, like, so stupid and stuff.
And I was just like, I said this to him, I was like, I don't care. I don't like jokes like that. And then he just shut up, and I was like, why are you trying to bring it up with people around to try and explain it away? Like, nobody's really like, no, jokes about people's appearance just don't really seem like an option ever to me personally. But I wasn't trying to tell him, like, you're a terrible human being for making that joke. It's just like, you didn't know, but, like, don't do that with me, because I don't do that, right? And I set the boundary, and I just expected it to be respected. No questions asked. If questions were asked, I would explain it. But it's just like, I didn't really understand why that needed to be brought up again. So then, me and Armor were discussing our next D&D, our first D&D campaign, and he was like, oh, well, this Banana wants to do it at her house. And I was like, nah, that's not a good idea. And then I added on to that, I don't go to people's house who I don't really know. So the reason why it wasn't a good idea is because a week prior to this conversation, Banana had planned a pool party, and she was like, oh, you guys, come to my party, right? Then, the night before the day that we all went to the chicken shop, she was there, by the way. She had some type of mental breakdown. It was something about she was having a mental crisis, and I guess Chewbacca did not respond to that in the way that she wanted him to. Just because, like, I feel like he's kind of like me, where it's like, okay, if you're going to do something, like, call the proper authorities. There's not much I can do. And she didn't like that. So she shut off her Instagram, started ignoring him, and it was acting weird. And then she turned her Instagram back on the day of when we all went to the chicken shop, and she was like, guys, I'm gonna have to cancel. We can't do it anymore, right? We go to the chicken shop, and then she explained to us that she was just having a moment, and it was whatever. And I noticed, like, the whole time we were at the chicken shop, Chewbacca was very withdrawn, and he was not really interacting with her. Like, he would talk to me and, like, other people, but then when it would get to be her turn to talk, he would just, like, not speak anymore. So then on Friday, she was like,
oh, y'all, make sure, actually, it is happening again. Make sure you bring towels. Make sure you bring this. I'm going to bring pizza. I'm going to do this.
All these empty promises. And I already just didn't really trust her, because she would just be like, oh, yeah, we need to do this. We need to do this. And then just never even follow up. So I just take any event she's planning with a grain of salt. So then Friday, the day the pool party was supposed to happen, mind you, a lot of the people, they don't have transportation. They would have to take the bus, take an Uber, so they need to plan their commute. All of a sudden, she's just like,
actually, you know what? I don't feel like doing it anymore. The pool party's not happening.
Girl, what? So I was like, okay, yeah, bet nothing ever needs to happen that she's over, like, in control of, right? Fast forward back to the conversation about, I don't think it's a good idea to have it at her house. And I didn't go into further details like, oh, she's unreliable. Look at this other instance. I was just like, oh, okay, period. Like, that's just that. I'm not going to go into details unless you ask me to, because I don't even want to turn it into, like, a talking session. Then, Armor, he did agree with me that it just wasn't, it wasn't a good idea. And then he also threw in there like,
oh, you know, I didn't really think anything of it because, and maybe this is only because I'm a guy, but
yo, did I mention he was sexist too? I keep forgetting, like, there's just so much to him. There's a lot to him. There's a lot. Okay. But anywho, so then, and I was just like, oh, I mean, no, but anyway, let's just have the campaigns, the sessions for the campaign take place at a place specified for like tabletop games, right? That we have in town. And he was like,
oh yeah, I think that's like a perfect idea because they don't close until really late at night, and you know, it's free to go in there and play, and that'll be a special place for us to do it there.
So we kind of made that decision, but we didn't discuss that with the rest of the campaign because we didn't really think we would have to. Because in my opinion, like my view of it, it's just kind of like the DM will tell you like, oh yeah guys, we're doing the campaign here at this time, and you just kind of show up if you can or you don't. And that's that. I didn't really think we needed to tell people like, oh, by the way, like, yo, we're only doing it at one spot, like don't try to do it at other places, right? Because like you wouldn't think people would just try to take things over and do whatever. So, but fast forward, we had our first session. I was unable to go because I had work that day, but Armor, you know, he DM'd and he said everything went really well, and I talked to the other players and they had a really good time, and people are excited for our upcoming session, which is supposed to be happening this upcoming Wednesday, like from me filming this, right? So yesterday, or no, not yesterday, it was like this afternoon. No, I forgot to mention. Okay, so we need to mention Banana. Okay, so, you know, she ended up sorting out the situation with Chewbacca, and everything was fine with those two moving forward, so it was just kind of like whatever. And then what happened? She just always has something going on. She's always going through some type of breakdown or reinvention, or she's cutting everybody off. Like, it's always something with her. So she's just kind of one of those people that I want to keep it like, oh, hey, how's your day going? All right, see you later. Or like short conversation about a mutual interest. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm not trying to be her best friend. I'm not trying to be close with her because I don't need that in my life right now. And I literally, like Jay, the person that I dated, was just like that. And I just don't want to be close to people like that right now because I just don't have the bandwidth for it. And I'm not to the point where I don't absorb other people's issues. I still do that. And I know that's a me problem, but I just can't be having all this right now. So, but I was cool with her. It was just like, you know, when she would try to trauma dump and like talk about very personal mental health struggles and stuff, I would just be like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, and then just like refer her to one of her other friends to go talk about it, or somebody that could better service her than me, because like I don't even know what to say in those type of situations. So then, you know, everything's chill, and then, you know, we went to an anime convention yesterday, and she was there. You know, of course, it was a whole story for her getting there. She didn't plan accordingly, and y'all, this girl's 20 years old and she doesn't even keep an ID on her. The way I know this, well, I think she lost it, right? But y'all, her ID has been lost for like at least a month now, because last time we had to take a test, she went to take it and she didn't have her ID, she couldn't find it, and that was the whole thing. And then, you know, since then she didn't think to get it, and like it literally says on like all of the social media for the event that you need an ID. Also, like this story I'm about to tell y'all, it just reminded me so much of my father, because he's an Aquarius too, and like he will not plan accordingly or not look at the fine details and then crash out because things don't go his way. And it's like, Brody, if you would have just read, because like you're an adult, like you're supposed to read about the places you're going, if you would have just read, you wouldn't have been in that situation. But yeah, basically like the people at the registration table were just giving her a really hard time because she didn't have an ID, and then eventually like somebody who just did not care was like, girl, just go inside and like don't tell anybody about it. And it was whatever. And her and Shrimp, they just kept like disappearing from our group. Like it was like me, my sister, one of my other friends, or three of my friends, right? And we all came in as a group, but then Shrimp and Banana just kept like going off somewhere else. I was like, okay, whatever. And like one of my friends, he's kind of like, so like he doesn't notice when people don't like him and stuff. And he was like, oh my God, like where are they? Like why are they not with us? And I was like, bro, let's just not, they're safe. And they have each other. Like, let's not even worry about that. Cause it's like, if we're like, oh, why aren't you guys staying with the group? Then that's gonna be a whole thing. And Aquarius is they don't like to be held somewhere. They want to be able to do what they want and go wherever. Because the main reason why those two started like going off and doing their own thing is because we were initially trying to stay as a group, but then they would want to go to one table, but then one or two people wasn't done at a specific table, and they would just get impatient and leave. So it was just like, that's not an issue. Like if you want to go, like we're all adults, just leave and go do what you want. But like, I don't know. And then like we just kept running into them, and then we would see them for like 5 minutes, they would disappear again. I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah, I mean, the con went really well. I mean, even the thing I'm mentioning about them going off, that's not even really an issue. It was just kind of funny, so I mentioned it. I just want to let y'all know I ain't looking for reasons to not like these people. I'm actually trying to find reasons to trust them and to continue a friendship with them. But they're making it really hard right now. So then, last night, the night following the anime convention, for some reason, Shrimp, she doesn't understand that we already have like a general group chat. Actually, no, she's not even in that one. She just keeps using our D&D group chat as like just a place for her to spam reels. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. I guess like, and what I do is like whenever like me or Armor has something like actually important to say, we just like at everybody and like pin our thing so that they can see it among all the reels that she sends. And she's like a very sensitive person. Shrimp is a Scorpio, and I'm not saying Scorpios are sensitive like in general, but she's just a sensitive Scorpio. Like if I was like, girl, like can you chill on the reels, like she would definitely go cry about it and it would be a whole thing. So I was just like, okay, you know what, we're gonna compromise. Let her send her reels, let her do what makes her happy, and we'll just do this, right? So she's sending reels, and then she sends a poll, and she's like, hey guys, I want to do a movie night at my house. Do you guys want to come? And then the poll was just yes or no. Like they weren't very detailed answers. So I just put no, and then I answered under it like, hey, like I don't mean no as in like it doesn't sound like a cool idea. Like I think that is a really fun idea. I just meant no as in like I won't be attending. And then instead of her just being like, oh, okay, period, she was like,
Oh, I understand. Maybe we can try to find a way for you to come. I heard.
You heard?
I heard that you don't like going to people's house.
What? You heard? So I didn't even see this message. Okay? My best friend Puka, she sends me a message. She's like, girl, now why did she think that's what you meant by that message? I'm like, Puka, girl, what are you talking about? She's like, girl, go check the group chat. I go look at it, I see that message. I'm like, you heard? But the thing is, Puka wasn't catching the fact that she said she heard from somebody that I don't like going to people's house. She was catching the fact that the girl was just trying to like basically bend everything just so I could go. But it's not even, y'all, the thing about me not wanting to go to people's house, it's kind of a lie. Like I literally just say that when I just don't like people and I don't want to be in their space. Because I don't want to be at Banana's house and I don't want to be at Shrimp's house. Like, no, I don't want to be in your space and you have the authority. I don't even want to put myself in a situation for anything to happen at your place. So no. And then God forbid something goes missing while I'm there and then you start accusing people. Like, I just don't like going to people's houses because there's too many possibilities for drama. And then I'm like, wait a minute. This is me and Puka. The whole time this conversation is happening, I just keep popping in the group chat, and then I'll pop over to me and Puka's chat, because y'all know, like, you and your best friend, especially when y'all are in a friend group, which I don't even conform to that idea. Like, I just have friends and they all mutually know each other. I don't do friend groups anymore. You and your best friend, y'all have to discuss like what's going on and like if there's something weird happening. Then I started decoding the message, because it's just weird to me that I'm telling you that I wouldn't go to something and you're assuming that it's because of something you've heard about me. This fact that you think that I don't like going to people's house, which is not even that. We're forgetting a keyword, people I don't know. because I've only known all these people for 3 months of my life, and I've been alive for about 20 years, so I really don't know you. Why not just accept the fact that I'm saying that I wouldn't go, and just be like, oh, okay, you won't go. Why are you trying to... I can understand, like, wanting your friends to be somewhere, but, like, why are you trying to fix things around to fit an assumption, one that's not even really the truth? So I'm like, Puka, now where did she hear that from? Because Puka knows I don't really like going to people's house. Y'all get what I'm saying? I don't have a problem going to people's house. It's just like, if I've known you for a while, like, period. But like, if not, then freak no. Okay, so then I'm like, Puka, should I ask her where she heard that I don't like going to people's house? Because y'all, let me tell you something. The only people who I've ever said that to is my sister, Puka, who would never tell my business. And the only other person I told that to was Armor. Armor and Banana are very close. But you know who's also very close? Banana and Shrimp. So I came up as a topic of conversation somewhere along the way. Somehow. The way that I'm thinking it happened was that Banana, she was like, oh, what if we do it at my house? And then Armor was like, no. And then Banana was probably like, why? Why not? And then Armor was like, oh, well, Happy doesn't like, going to people's house. And then I feel like Banana probably complained about that to Shrimp. And that's how Shrimp knows. Oh, and keep in mind, Shrimp, she told somebody else that I was talking about them before. So she is just not even somebody, like, if you want something to be between you and God, or you and like less than 10 people, don't let her hear it, because everybody will know. So I texted in the group chat because I'm just getting to the point in my life where I just really don't care about, I won't say I don't care about making people uncomfortable, because like, hold up. I mean, I don't care, like, I care about people's boundaries and stuff, but like difficult conversations, I don't care. I'm gonna ask what I want, and I need to get the answer I need. Because normal people will be like, no, I don't want to make a scene in the group chat. Me, I'm starting to just not care. Because if you feel uncomfortable, just leave the group chat or don't answer me. Like, I'm not doing all that. So I sent Shrimp a message. I'm like, where did you hear that? And Puka was like, girl, when you send it, don't send any emojis. Because normally when I want to ask people, like, serious questions, I still put like a little like heart or LMAO, lol, like laughing, because I don't want to make them feel like they're in trouble. But I do want to make her feel like she's in trouble, because why would you tell me that you were talking about me? Are you stupid? So then, oh, and y'all listen, it's not like she said like something terrible, right? That they were talking about something terrible that I did. But then it makes me wonder what else was said about me. And then also, why are you just assuming that what you've heard is true when you could have just asked me, oh, why can't you come to the thing? Which, that's none of your business, but if you really, really cared, like, for a reason why, you should have just asked. That's weird on your part. And this all could have been avoided if you would have just thought like a proper human being. So then Shrimp is like, oh, I heard that from someone. She didn't say who. She's like, I heard that from someone, and I wasn't saying it was a bad thing, and I'm really sorry if it came out that way. It was a total mistake. And then she just sends a whole bunch of sweating emojis. And I told Puka, I made a deal with Puka like last week, that I'm just done coddling people's insecurities, because Shrimp, she's so sensitive, because she probably thought that I hated her or something. And a part of me wanted to be like, oh my god, no, girl, I didn't think it was anything messy. Like, no, I'm just trying to see like who you heard that from. Like, no, because like I'm not even trying to. No, let's just tell it how it really is, because you were being messy by saying that. Like, and I don't really care to protect your feelings or make sure that you feel happy. I don't really care anymore. I just replied with the thumbs up emoji. I forgot to add this in about Banana. The other reason why I just don't trust her, even before this thing that happened last night happened, and the main reason why I'm telling y'all about this, which we haven't gotten to that yet. So previously, I don't know if y'all have watched the video about Ribbon, but one of Ribbon's closest friends had a situation with one of my friends where my friend was making like sex jokes, but like as a joke, like she wasn't actually interested in him. And she does that to everybody. I'm not trying to excuse her. Like, maybe, like, if she were better at social cues, she definitely should have just noticed that he didn't like it. But also, like, literally nobody else in the room noticed that he didn't like it. Like, we really couldn't tell that he didn't like it, so she just kept doing it. And, like, he would laugh or, like, not really answer, and it wasn't clear, like, how he was feeling about it. And then one day he just blew up and was like, yeah, you, like, assaulted me and stuff, and you did this and you did that. And then he and his friends, they made a joke about jumping my friend. So Puka came in and was like, oh, who are we gonna jump? Who are we gonna jump? Like, yelling at him, right? And then eventually he sat down, had a conversation with us about it, and told us, like, his side of the story. And we were like, oh yeah, like, she definitely shouldn't have been making them jokes with you. But, like, don't sit up here and act like she was just purposefully, like, trying to, oh wait, that doesn't sound right. Like, don't make it seem like she knew that you were uncomfortable and then continued to just do it because she wanted to. She did it because she thought that you liked it. If you had told her, she would have stopped. So let's be for real about the situation. And somewhere in that conversation, I ended up going to work. He started crying, and then Banana gonna pop in the conversation and say,
well, you know, I've heard from people that nobody really likes you or your friends.
huh? Like, while he's still crying. And then she's like,
Yeah, like, literally nobody in this room likes y'all.
just being messy. So I just didn't trust her because of that too. Like, I don't really like being friends with people that are messy like that. Because why are you instigating while the boy's having a little breakdown? Like, please stop. So, you know, then that situation with Shrimp is kind of over from last night, and then we move on to today. So I forgot to announce this in our D&D group chat, but I think everybody kind of had a common understanding that we were having a meeting, our next session at, you know, the place designated for tabletop games, and that was when it was going to happen, on Wednesday, and that's just that, right? And so she didn't know that this was happening, right? But I'm talking about Banana, by the way. So Banana takes it upon herself to just go in our, like, general group chat and say,
Oh guys, I'm thinking, like, we need to do a D&D session at my house, at my pool.
right? And then this is the part, because last night I was like, oh, maybe they were just concerned about making me uncomfortable by constantly doing things at people's house knowing I don't want to, right? But no, she made an effort in her message to say,
Oh, and if you don't like going to people's house, I don't know, just, you don't have to come if you don't want to.
why do you even feel the need to put that in there? Because you already know exactly who you're talking about. Like, why are we being petty? So, and I don't understand, this is exactly why I've always been scared to set boundaries. Is because people will take your boundaries and then throw it in your face like you're being dramatic or oversensitive, and especially when it's inconvenient for them, because, like, for Banana, she wants to have, like, I don't know what it is, this fulfillment for her, like, of being able to bring everybody together and just be a hostess. And it's like, why do I have to even be a part of that? Like, you should just be okay with me not wanting to be a part of that. And that's how you know that you're just getting your fulfillment from other people, and that's freaking embarrassing. Like, you need to just sort yourself out before you're trying to even host things, and then you want to cancel plans last minute when people done booked Ubers and got rides to go to you. Like, anyway, that's neither here nor there. So she put that little weird message in there, and again, Puka had to tell me that these messages even existed, because I put that chat on mute. I cried about the situation last night because I really don't want to have an issue with her. Aquariuses are dangerous people. I ain't trying to have an issue with any of them, because they play dirty, and you can never prove to them that they are wrong. There's literally no way. So I don't want to get in an argument with her ever, because I know I'm going to lose, even though my points are kind of valid and I haven't done anything wrong. You know, and it's like, she's not even a DM, so how are you going to tell everybody that we're doing a session at your house at a time that you're going to come up with when you're not even a DM? So you just take it upon yourself, and that's kind of disrespectful to me, because it's like, I love to control things, right? But if my friend, or not even friend, if somebody I respect is in control, I'm gonna let them have it, and I'm gonna stay in my place. And so it's just proof to me that she doesn't respect me. I'm just like, I'm not even really mad about it. I'm just kind of like, dang, like, at least I know now. At least I know I'm not wanted, and I can stop putting energy into all of this. So I sent her a message, and I'm like, okay, so Armor and I actually previously decided that our next session is going to be at Gamescape, but maybe you can try to do this thing at your pool next week, right? And then I was like, let me manipulate her and just see where this goes, because I want to see if she's going to admit to trying to kind of take control of the whole D&D campaign. I want to see if she's going to admit to it. So I'm like, I'm playing stupid, like I misunderstood her messages. I was like, oh wait, never mind. I just realized you weren't trying to plan a D&D session. Never mind. Forget I said anything, right? And she was trying to plan a D&D session, but I'm acting stupid like I don't know what she's talking about. And then she was like, she agreed with me. She was like, yeah. Like, no, I wasn't trying to plan a D&D session, even though she was. So like, girl, how you gonna lie? You already know what you were trying to do. Don't backtrack now, stand on it. So that's just another red flag in the bin. Like, hello, girl, you're racking them up. You're really racking them up. Like, please take it easy. Leave some for the rest of us. So then, she starts going on about, oh, like, what's gonna happen during summer? Like, just asking me questions to try and, like, move on from it. Because I think she kind of got it as, like, note-taking. Like, you don't facilitate these things. That's not your job. And I feel like the message, not only was it me testing to see if she would, like, admit to just trying to kind of do things that weren't really her responsibility. And I was also trying to see if, you know, I could kindly communicate to her the fact that that's not even a decision for her to make. And I got both of the answers that I wanted. I'm very satisfied with that interaction. And it was just chill. It was whatever. So that's it for today's video. We're just gonna have to see how the situation goes. Of course, best case scenario, I never talk about it again and me and her are fine, but we're just gonna have to see how it goes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Love you, Boogie.